on the Southwest Network of Radio Nigeria. The time is 2 o'clock.
Good afternoon and welcome to another edition of The World Today. It is a Southwest Network program of Radio Nigeria, Ibadan Zonal Station, comprising news and feature. In the lineup, FAN promises enhanced Ebola preparedness at airports. NDLEA arrests Nigeria-Mexico drug syndicate. On the foreign scene, UK eases sanctions on Russia jet fuel imports. China extends visa-free policy for Russians. The Malta is on empowering the boy child, while the feature is on Vandoma tribe. My name is Stephen Agbaje. With me on the news is
Olushola Akinropo. You can listen to us live stream www.radionigeriaibadan.gov.ng or watch us live on Facebook at Premier FM 93.5. Rain is here. Ensure you keep yourself warm. Now the news in detail. The Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria, FAN, has assured the traveling public and stakeholders that robust preventive measures have been put in place across all international airports in response to the recent Ebola virus disease situation in parts of Central Africa. In a statement by its Director of Public Affairs and Consumer Protection, Mr. Henry Agbebiri, FAN says it is working in close collaboration with Port Health Services, the Nigeria Center for Disease Control and Prevention, and other relevant agencies to intensify surveillance and monitoring of passengers, particularly those arriving from high-risk regions. The authority says passengers have been screened for symptoms associated with Ebola, and any suspected case will be promptly isolated and subjected to secondary health checks in line with established national and international health protocols. The statement comes days after the World Health Organization declared the Bundibugyo Ebola virus outbreak in the Democratic Republic of Congo and Uganda a public health emergency of international concern on May 17, 2026.
The federal government is working with stakeholders to enhance the capacity of teachers in Ogun State and promoting the integration of trafficking in persons content into the country's revised national curriculum. This is part of the stakeholders' submission at the capacity building workshop organized by the National Agency for the Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons, NAPTIP, as part of efforts to strengthen child protection through education. Radio Nigeria correspondent Oluwatoyin Adegoke reports that 150 subject teachers were drawn from 50 schools across the state.
The capacity training workshop put together by the NAPTIP under the Schools Anti-Trafficking Education and Advocacy Project in collaboration with the International Center for Migration Policy Development (ICMPD) was aimed at exposing learners to issues of trafficking prevention, personal safety and responsible decision making. The organizers said the infusion of trafficking in person content into the revised basic and senior secondary school curriculum facilitated by the Nigerian Educational Research and Development Council in 2025 was aimed at equipping children and young persons with the required knowledge to identify risk and protect themselves against exploitation. Declaring the workshop opened, the Ogun State Commissioner for Education, Science and Technology, Professor Abayomi Arigbabu, represented by the Permanent Secretary in the Ministry, Alhaja Moriamo Oloko, said the intervention will safeguard children from trafficking and other forms of exploitation through education. Professor Arigbabu said integrating trafficking in persons content into the curriculum would strengthen learners' awareness, critical thinking, and self-protection skills.
So we need to educate the learners through the teachers that they should avoid social vices, they should avoid deception, because considering their age.
Addressing the participants, the Director General of NAPTIP, Ajia Binta Adamu Bello, represented by the Director of Training and Manpower Development, Dr. Ebele Ulasi, described the initiative as viable towards strengthening classroom-based prevention and response mechanism in schools.
To train subject teachers on the mainstreamed human trafficking contents in the curricula of basic education in Nigeria.
Also, the project manager of ICMPD, Mrs. Rhoda Johnson, explained that the training was designed to equip teachers with the methodology required to effectively deliver the newly infused curriculum across schools. Other experts at the workshop, including Mr. Samuel Okoroji and Mr. Favor Simon, expressed concern over the increasing rate of human trafficking issues among communities, saying it was necessary for teachers to be properly equipped with the knowledge and skills required to educate and protect learners against trafficking-related risk. Some participants who spoke with Radio Nigeria described the training as timely and impactful, pledging to spread the knowledge gained among the colleagues towards enhancing grassroots awareness and prevention efforts. In Abeokuta, Oluwatoyin Adegoke, Radio Nigeria.
The Oyo State Independent Electoral Commission and the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps, Oyo State Command, have reaffirmed their commitment to strengthening collaboration towards ensuring peaceful, free, fair, and credible local government elections in the state. The chairman of OISEC, Mr. Fiz Adeniyi, said this during a courtesy visit to the Oyo State Command headquarters of the NSCDC headquarters at Agodi, Ibadan, the Oyo State capital. Mr. Adeniyi reiterated the Commission's resolve to conduct a free, fair, credible, and peaceful election, stressing that all necessary arrangements were being put in place to guarantee a hitch-free exercise. He said December 29, 2026 remains the scheduled date for the conduct of the local government elections across the 33 local government areas of the state. The OISEC chairman also commended the NSCDC command for its consistent support, cooperation, and professionalism during previous elections conducted by the Commission. He expressed confidence in the Corps' capacity to contribute significantly to peaceful and successful elections, assuring that the Commission would continue to work closely with all relevant stakeholders to ensure credible polls. In his remark, the Commandant of the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps, Oyo State Command, Commandant Augustine Badono, assured OISEC of the Corps' unwavering support and the discharge of its constitutional responsibilities, particularly in the areas of election security, protection of sensitive electoral materials, and the maintenance of peace before, during, and after the elections. It said effective collaboration among security agencies remains vital to the successful conduct of the free, fair, and credible elections. That the NCDC would continue to deploy its personnel and operational expertise to ensure the safety and security of electoral activities across the states.
Oyo State Government has launched Oitma Youth Volunteers Program as a direct response to rising road carnage, loss of lives, and worsening traffic conditions in the state. The initiative was done by Oyo State Road Management Authority in collaboration with Special Assistant on Student Affairs and Oyo State Rule of Law Enforcement Authority. Launching the program at the Secretariat Ibadan, the Secretary to the State Government, Professor Musibau Babatunde, said the initiative was aimed at reshaping road behavior and cutting down on accidents across the state. Professor Babatunde, who was represented by Permanent Secretary, General Administration, Governor's Office, Dr. Bode Ladipo, added that poor road altitude and weak adherence to traffic laws had led to dangerous driving patterns. In his welcome address, Chairman Oitma, retired Major Adesabe Adekoya, said the aim was to involve youth in governance and to promote good road behavior. The chairperson of your State Rule of Law Enforcement Authority, retired Justice Aderonke Aderemi, and chairman of your State Youth Agency, Prince Adebowale Falano, urged the youths to be diligent, disciplined, punctual and committed to integrity in their responsibilities to assist the government. 100 youths, especially students, were randomly selected across the state and committed as pioneer volunteers under the program to serve as ambassadors for responsible road usage across the country.
This is the world today, the stories that made the headlines. FAN has promised enhanced Ebola preparedness at airports. Still to come, NDLEA arrests Nigeria and Mexico drug syndicates. UK eases sanctions on Russia jet fuel imports, and China extends visa-free policy for Russians.
Glad to know you're still with us for the rest of the news on the world today. National Drug Law Enforcement Agency NDLEA has dismantled a transnational methamphetamine production syndicate jointly operated by a Nigerian drug cartel and Mexican collaborators, leading to the arrest of 10 suspects. Also, illicit drugs and chemicals valued at over 480 billion naira were recovered during the operation. The chairman and chief executive officer of the NDLEA, retired Brigadier General Buba Mawa, disclosed this during a media briefing at the agency's headquarters in Abuja. Retired General Mawa said the operation, carried out by operators of the agency's Special Operations Unit, led to the discovery and shutdown of what they described as the biggest clandestine laboratory ever uncovered in Nigeria. According to him, the laboratory was hidden in Abidagba Forest in Ijebu East local government area of Ogun State and was being operated by the Anochili Innocent Drug Trafficking Organization. He said the coordinated operation was conducted simultaneously in Ogun and Lagos states on Saturday, May 16, 2026, following months of intelligence gathering.
In line with the directive of the Inspector General of Police, Mr. Olatunji Desu, the Osun State Police Command has inaugurated the Command's Violent Crime Response Unit, VCRU, as part of sustained efforts to strengthen security and the fight against violent crimes across the nooks and crannies of the state. The Commissioner of Police in the state, Mr. Ibrahim Gota, inaugurated the VCRU as the police headquarters of Osogbo. Mr. Gordon said the VCRU is aimed at establishing a more coordinated, efficient and intelligence-led framework for responding to violent crimes such as armed robbery, kidnapping, cultism and other related violent offences. Mr. Gordon noted that the unit is also expected to operate at all times in full compliance with constitutional provisions, the Nigeria Police Act 2020, other related laws and applicable international human rights standards. He noted that the officers deployed to the unit are presently undergoing intensive training on human rights as well as social and emotional intelligence to enhance professionalism and guide their relationships with members of the public. Meanwhile, the Association of Local Governments of Nigeria, ALGON, Osun State, has donated 30 operational vehicles to the police and other sister security agencies in the state. Speaking at the event held at the police headquarters in Osogbo, the state chairman, Algon, Mr. Idowu Abiodun, described the initiative as a demonstration of the resolve of local government to support security agencies in combating crime and ensuring grassroots development. Mr. Abiodun emphasized that security remains the foundation for meaningful development, stressed that no society can thrive in an atmosphere of fear and insecurity.
Children in Oko Town, Oyo State, have stayed away from their schools following rumors that bandits were planning to attack schools in the town and other neighboring communities. Radio Nigeria reporter who visited some schools within the town observed that there was no presence of either the teachers or students in the schools. It was guarded that most of the parents did not allow their children to go to school. Various roads were equally deserted as only few vehicles and commercial motorcyclists were seen on the roads. It was also observed that security agents were present on various roads, particularly Oko Ejibo, and conducted stop-and-search operation on few vehicles plying various routes. It will be recalled that police spokesperson for your state command, Mr. Olayinka Anyolade, during an interview with Radio Nigeria, advised residents in Oko and its neighboring communities to go about their lawful business activities without fear of threat from any quarters. He made it clear that more security personnel have been deployed across towns and villages in Surulere local government area to ensure protection of lives and property.
The Chief Whip of the Oyo State House of Assembly and lawmaker representing Atiba State constituency, Mr. Gbenga Oyikola, has restated that safety of students, teachers, and every resident of Oyo State is non-negotiable, saying the state government will continue to ensure protection of lives and property of its citizens. Mr. Oyikola said this while speaking on the recent attack on some schools in Orire local government area of Oyo State, where pupils and their teachers were abducted, while the teacher was reportedly killed by the abductors in a viral video describing it as provocative and needless. The Oyo lawmaker said he shared in the pains of the affected families and prayed for the quick and safe return of the victims. He reaffirmed the commitment of Oyo State House of Assembly to supporting every legislative and community-driven effort aimed at improving security and safeguarding the welfare of citizens across Oyo State. Mr. Oyikola, however, commended Oyo State Governor Engineer Seyi Makinde and security agencies for their swift response to the incident, while urging the security personnel to intensify efforts to rescue all abducted victims from the captivity. He prayed for the safe return of all abducted victims and for the stability and continued progress in Oyo State.
Operatives of the anti-kidnapping unit of the Ogun State Police Command have neutralized a suspected kidnap kingpin during an intelligence-led operation at a criminal hideout in the Orile-Ilugun Forest axis along the Abeokuta-Ibadan Expressway. Items recovered from the operation included one AK-47 rifle loaded with 20 rounds of 5.6 mm live ammunition, 2 million naira and 2 mobile phones. The police public relations officer, Ogun State Command, Mr. Oluseyi Babasheyi, while speaking with newsmen in Abeokuta, explained that the operation followed the successful rescue of a kidnapped victim abducted at a filling station along the Abeokuta-Ibadan Expressway in Odeda local government area of the state. Mr. Babasheyi said the victim regained freedom on hand, after which operatives of the anti-kidnapping squad intensified intelligence-driven efforts to apprehend members of the gang responsible for the abduction. He noted that operatives acting on credible intelligence stormed the kidnappers' hideout, noting that a suspect opened fire on sighting the police, which resulted in a gun duel. The police spokesperson added that the police operatives responded with superior firepower, leading to the neutralization of the gang leader, while other members of his syndicate escaped into the forest with varying degrees of gunshot injuries. He noted that the corpse of the suspect had been deposited at the morgue for autopsy, while efforts were ongoing to arrest the fleeing suspects.
Operatives of the Ogun State Police Command have arrested a husband and wife over alleged child stealing and rescued 3 children in Mowe area of the state. The Police Public Relations Officer Ogun State Command, Mr. Oluseyi Babasheyi, said the suspect Oluwa Wakami Kehinde Ugochukwu and her husband Ugochukwu Matthew were arrested by detectives attached to Mowe Division. Mr. Babashi explained that the arrest followed a complaint by a resident of Omamula area of Mowe who reported that her 4-month-old baby was taken away while she was receiving treatment at a clinic. They said the female suspect allegedly visited the victim under the guise of checking on her condition and later disappeared with the baby after offering to assist with child care. The police spokesman noted that detectives immediately launched an intelligence-led operation, mounted surveillance at motor parks and other strategic locations, and subsequently traced the suspect to the hideout at Kikereekun area of Mowe, where the stolen baby was rescued alongside 2 other children found in their possession. He disclosed that preliminary investigation revealed that one of the rescued children had earlier been declared missing in a child stealing case reported in 2024, where the victim was allegedly taken from a hairdressing salon through a similar deceptive method. According to him, the biological parent of 2 of the rescued children had identified and reunited with their wards, while the case had been transferred to the State Criminal Investigation Department in Owerri for further investigation.
Justice Oyeyemi Ajayi of the Oyo State High Court, Ibadan, has adjourned the murder trial of former chairman of the Disciplinary Committee of the State Park Management System, PMS, Mukaila Lamidi, popularly known as Auxiliary, till June 24 this year. Justice Ajayi adjourned the case after the defense counsel for Mukaila Lamidi failed to submit the final written address within the stipulated time for adoption by the court. Mukaila Lamidi is standing trial on a 1-count charge of murder instituted by the Oyo State government. He is alleged to have caused the death of one Wonu Olayide by knocking her down with his vehicle. The incident allegedly occurred on September 23, 2023 at about 4:30 in the evening at the Government Reservation Area, GRA, Agodi, Ibadan. According to the prosecution, the offense contravenes Section 325 of the Criminal Code Laws of Oyo State 2000. The defendant had pleaded not guilty to the charge and earlier filed a no-case submission which was dismissed by the court.
And now to the foreign scene. The UK government says that eased sanctions on imports of Russia jet fuel and diesel refined in third countries amid spiraling fuel prices caused by the Middle East war. The trade license that came into effect immediately is of indefinite duration, according to the Department of Business and Trade website, and will be periodically reviewed. Report says it will allow the UK to import Russian crude oil refined in third countries such as India. The government also issued a temporary license loosening sanctions on liquefied natural gas originating from certain Russian plants. Britain imposed a stringent sanctions regime against Russia following the 2022 invasion of Ukraine, targeting all exports as well as over 3,000 individuals and companies. The decision followed a U.S. sanctions waiver for Russian oil cargoes already at sea, which was extended Monday for the second time as its war against Iran squeezes global oil supplies and sends energy prices soaring.
China has decided to extend the visa-free policy for Russia until the end of 2027 in order to facilitate travel. Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesman Mr. Guo Jiakun said that Russian citizens with regular passports will be able to visit China visa-free for no more than 30 days for work, tourism, meetings with relatives, exchange trips and visits, as well as for transit. Russian President Vladimir Putin, currently visiting China, earlier expressed the desire to extend the visa-free travel. He said an additional incentive to expand humanitarian contacts is the visa-free system introduced for citizens of the countries on the reciprocal basis. Russian tourists have been able to visit China visa-free for 30 days since September 15, 2025. The visa-free system was initially supposed to expire on September 14, 2026.
The draw for the 2027 African Cup of Nations AFCON tournament has taken place, with Nigeria drawn to Group L. For this and more, let's join Oluwakayode Banjo for sports updates.
The Super Eagles of Nigeria have been drawn in Group L in the 2027 African Cup of Nations AFCON qualifiers. The Super Eagles will be slugging it out with Madagascar, Tanzania and Guinea-Bissau in the group for a spot in next year's African Football Showcase. In Group A, Morocco, Gabon, Niger Republic and Lesotho were drawn together, while Group B consists of Egypt, Angola, Malawi and South Sudan. Cote d'Ivoire, Ghana, Gambia and Somalia are in Group C. South Africa, Guinea, Kenya and Eritrea in Group D, while in Group E, World Cup-bound Democratic Republic of Congo will battle Equatorial Guinea, Sierra Leone and Zimbabwe. In Group F, Burkina Faso, Benin Republic, Mauritania and Central African Republic were drawn together. Cameroon, Comoros, Namibia and Congo are in Group G, as Tunisia, Uganda, Libya and Botswana battle each other in Group H. Algeria will compete in Group I alongside Zambia, Togo and Burundi. Senegal, Mozambique, Sudan and Ethiopia were drawn in Group J, while Mali, Cape Verde, Rwanda and Liberia are in Group K. The qualifying campaign is scheduled to begin in September this year and will run until March next year. The 2027 AFCON, which will take place between June 19 and July 17 next year, will be jointly hosted by Kenya, Tanzania and Uganda. Moving to Europe, Arsenal Football Club have won the 2025-2026 English Premier League after 22 years. Arsenal were confirmed winners of the league after their closest rival Manchester City drew 1-1 with informed Bournemouth last night. With one more game to end the season, Arsenal were crowned champions of England, a feat they last achieved in 2004. Lastly, on sport update, Southampton have been thrown out of the English Football League EFL playoff final over the Spygate scandal. According to the EFL, Southampton admitted to multiple breaches relating to the unauthorized filming of their opponents' training ahead of games against Oxford and Ipswich, as well as the playoff semi-final against Middlesbrough. In addition, Southampton have been handed a 4-point deduction for next season. Middlesbrough has been restated and will now face Hull City in the playoff final on Saturday for a place in the English Premier League. That's it on Sports Update. Oluwakayode Banjo, Radio Nigeria.
In today's Heart of the Matter, Fumilola Bagba Ignova, Current Affairs Unit, writes on empowering the boy child.
Africa's rich culture and traditions are a testament to its diversity. But in the quest for gender equality, people must remember that the empowerment of both girls and boys is crucial. While much attention has been given to empowering girls, it is equally essential to address the unique challenges faced by the boy child in Africa. However, society must also remember the importance of empowering the boy child as a well-trained, confident, and responsible boy grows into a man who contributes positively to family, community, and a nation. Education is often seen as the great equalizer, and it plays a pivotal role in the empowerment of the boy child. Unfortunately, access to quality education remains unequal across Africa. Boys in marginalized communities face challenges such as limited resources, early dropout rates, and the pressure to engage in child labor. Empowering the boy child means ensuring that every young boy has access to a quality education, providing them with the tools to pursue their dreams and aspirations. Physical and mental health are fundamental aspects of empowerment. Boys, like girls, should have access to proper health care, nutrition, and mental health support. By ensuring their well-being, it will enable them to focus on their personal growth and development. Many boys today face challenges such as peer pressure, drug abuse, lack of mentorship, and emotional neglect. Some are taught that real men do not cry, which makes them hide their feelings and struggle silently. This can lead to anger, violence,
That script on empowering the boy child was written by Fumilola Obagbaigun of our current affairs unit and read by Feyi Shara Owomoyela.
That's it on the world today. Join us tomorrow for a fresh edition of the program. Rashida Makedi edited. My name is Olushola Akeropwen from my colleague
Stephen Agbaje, thanks for listening. Enjoy your evening.